Next week, the Mexico women's national team will play a 2-game series against Uruguay. The first game will be on Friday, May 30th in El Estadio Universitario de Buap. The second game will be on June 3rd in Tlaxcala in El Estadio Tlahuicole. I'm looking forward to these games as the women's team continues to improve and build up to hopefully qualify for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. They enter this international break winning 4 of their last 5 games and will look to get a positive results from these 2 games as well. Both games will also be held in Mexico, which is a nice thing to see. While the men's team could and should hold more games in Mexico, at least for the women's team, most of these games are played in Mexico. And after their 2-game series versus Jamaica during the last FIFA international dates, which was a special occasion as both games were in the United States, the women's team will be back playing in Mexico in the center of the country against Uruguay next week. With that, the roster for these games has been confirmed. It is a very interesting roster this time for head coach Pedro Lopez. And in this video, I will discuss the team roster and the players to watch for in these 2 games. So let's look at the roster for these games and the players Pedro Lopez has called up. 3 goalkeepers have been called up for these games. They are Estefany Barreras, Blanca Felix, and Celeste Espino. Nothing new here, and so far it has been a good goalkeeper list for the team. Moving on to the defenders in the roster, we have Kenty Robles from Pachuca, Reina Reyes from Portland Thorns, Anya Mejia from FC Juarez, Alia Farmer from Tigres, Ana Mendoza from Pumas, if that is correct. Yes, it is. Ana Mendoza from Pumas. Another Tigres player, Natalia Collin, Caro Bernal from Rayadas, and Anika Rodriguez also from Tigres. So you have 3 Tigres players in the roster on the defense. Moving on to the midfield, you have Rebecca Bernal, Ella Sanchez, Carla Nieto, Nicole Perez, and Natalia Mauleon for the midfielders. Then moving on to the offensive front, the wingers and the strikers, those key goal scorers for the team. Charlene Corral, Jasmine Carceres, Mayra Delgadillo, Cristina Birkenroad returns to the lineup again. Likely the lineup, but also the roster. Diana Ordonez from Houston Dash is on the roster as well. Maria Sanchez from San Diego Wave, and last but not least, being called up for the first time in her career to the Mexico women's national team, Lourdes Bosch from Melbourne City. So, a very interesting roster with some notable names left off the list as well. Lisbeth Ovalle was not included in the roster for these games. Ali Soto, the young teenage prospect who had a really good performances over the last 5 games, both in the Pinatar Cup and against Jamaica, has also been left off the roster. Mayra Pelayo has been excluded for a second time, and Scarlett Camberos is also not on this list. Now, I am unsure of the exact reasons why these players were left off the roster. Lisbeth Ovalle is definitely a name I am surprised is not on the roster. She has been good for Tigres so far and has been part of the lineup in their Women's Conca Champions games. It is worth noting that Tigres did advance to the Women's Conca Champions final, so Ovalle not being on the roster is likely due to club commitments and Tigres wanting to keep their players healthy and prepared for that big game. As for the other players, Soto, Pelayo, Camberos, their exclusion from the roster for these matches against Uruguay could be for various reasons. Maybe it's possible injuries, maybe it's a decline in form, or Pedro Lopez once again wanting to experiment and give new players a chance to prove themselves for the national team. And that is something that leaving these 4 players off the roster will end up doing. It will set up a chance for some new players who were called up to possibly get playing time in their first games for Mexico. Two players have been called up for the women's national team for the first time. Lourdes Bosch and Ella Sanchez, who play for Melbourne City and Pachuca, respectively. Lourdes Bosch has become an established player on Melbourne's roster, playing in 22 games and scoring 4 goals so far there. As for Sanchez, her call-up comes following Pachuca winning the 2025 Clausura in the Liga MX Femenil. So look to see if Pedro Lopez gives her a chance to see if the good form from Pachuca has been the good form that Pachuca has been in can carry over in Ella Sanchez. Another player to watch who has also been called up is Alia Farmer. While this isn't her first time being called up to the women's team for Mexico, she still has yet to step on the field and get playing time. So it's possible we see 3 players make their national team debuts during these 2 games. That would be great to see. So we will likely be seeing a couple new faces on the team for the first time, and we'll see what game plan Pedro Lopez has in store against Uruguay. Andres, the AA Sports, leave your opinions on the roster in the comments, and feel free to leave your score predictions for both games in the comments as well. I would love to hear your opinions. With that, that is all for this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to help support and grow this sports passion project. Thanks for watching and listening to this sports video on Mexican football. And as always, Vamos Mexico.